Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, let me introduce ourselves. My name is Arnelita Diva Safira with ID number 20524033 and I'm from Metodologi Studi Islam Class A in the English Education Department. In this video, I will present a summary of Islamic Studies methodology material from meeting 1 until 9. This material discusses the introduction to Islamic studies methodology, the histories and development of Islamic studies, religion in human life, the characteristic and dimension of Islamic teachings, Islam as a cultural phenomenon, and method in Islamic studies. Let's get started. The first material discusses the introduction to Islamic studies methodology. Etymologically, methodology comes from the word method and logos. Methods mean a way or approach, while logos means knowledge. Therefore, methodology is the science of method. Islamic studies refer to a conscious and systematic effort to understand and deeply examine various aspects related to Islam. The purpose of Islam studies methodology is to understand the true essence of Islam, learn the original technique of Islam, understand the main source of Islam technique, and explore the fundamental value of Islam. Islamic studies methodology is also very important because it helps Muslims understand Islamic teaching in wider are relevant to modern times. In addition, it helps avoid partial or incomplete interpretation of religion. The significance of Islamic studies methodology is that it serves as a foundation for understanding Islam scientifically, connecting religious texts with social realities and providing solutions to problems faced by society in the modern era. The second material discusses the history and development of Islamic studies around the world. The development of knowledge spans through several periods, beginning with ancient Greece, China, and later the Golden Age of Islam from 750 to 1258 AD. During this period, great Muslim scholars such as Al-Khwarizmi, Ibn Sina, and Al-Biruni made major contributions to science and knowledge. Centers of Islamic education development in major cities such as Baghdad, Cairo, Damascus, and Cordoba. Famous institutions like Nizamiya and Al-Azhar became important centers of learning and intellectual development. In the Western world, Islam studies initially developed through Orientalism, which was connected to political and colonial interests. Figures such as Snob, Hurkronche, and Ignaz Kultziher were part of the Orientalist movement. However, in this modern Islam, studies have developed into a interdisciplinary field involving sociology, anthropology, politics, and culture. Universities such as Oxford and Harvard now offer systematic Islam studies program. In Indonesia, Islamic studies developed from pesantren or traditional Islamic boarding school and later expanded into madrasah and Islamic universities such as EIN and UIN. The transformation from EIN to UIN I made to integrate religions and general science to meet the needs of modern society. The third material discusses religion in human life. Religion is a system of belief that serves a guide from human life. In everyday, religion play a very important role both spiritually and socially. The function of religion is spiritual. Religion helps people strengthen their relationship with God and provide inner peace. Through religion, people gain direction and purpose in life. The second function is moral guidance. Religion teach value such as honesty, responsibility, kindness, and respect for others. The third function in social religion strengthens brotherhood and social relationship through worship activities, cooperative, and social care. In addition, religion also has a psychological function because it gives people comfort, hope, and peace when facing difficulties uh, in life. In this modern era, religion face challenges such as globalization, technological development, and cultural change. Therefore, people need more open, moderate, and contextual understanding of religion so that religion's technique remain relevant in today's world. The fourth material discuss the characteristic and dimension of Islamic teaching. Islamic teaching have several important characteristics. First, Rabbaniyah, which means Islamic teaching come from Allah and are not created by human. Second, Shumuliyah, means Islam is comprehensive and cover all aspects of life, include personal, social, economic, and political matters. Third, Wasatiyah, meaning Islam teaches moderation, balance, and fairness. Fourth, Insaniyah, meaning Islam highly value humanity, justice, and brotherhood. Five, Alamiyah, meaning Islam is universal and applicable to all people in every place and era. Besides these characteristics, Islam also have several dimensions, include akidah or faith, worship, morality, education, social life, economy, and political. All of these dimensions are interconnected in creating a balanced life between worldly and spiritual matters. The five material discuss Islam as cultural phenomenon. Islam is not only understood as a religion but also as a living cultural reality with society. Islam interacts with local culture and creates tradition that still contain Islam value. The process of Islam culturation in Indonesia occurred through Sufi missionary activities, education, and marriage. Islam spread peacefully and adapted to local tradition without eliminating local wisdom. Example of Islam in Indonesian culture include the Sekaten Festival, Grebek Maulud, Selamatan tradition, and show puppet performance. In addition, the architecture of the Demak Mosque, which used a traditional Javanese layered roof instead of a dome, reflect the integration of Islam with local culture. Islam has also influenced art, clothing, language, literature, education, and social system. They show that Islam can develop dynamical within Indonesian society and culture. The SIG material discuss method in Islamic studies. Method in Islamic studies are approach used to understand and examining Islam technique correctly and systematically. There are several methods used in Islam studies. First, the traditional Arbayani method, which focus on the Quran and Hadith as the main source of Islamic technique. Second, the rationale of Burhani methods, which use logical and critical thinking to understand Islam. Third, the Irfani of our spiritual method, which embellishing inner experience and Sufism. Fourth, the historical sociological method, which study Islam through historical event and social life. Five, the synthesis method, which combination traditional and rational approach and is considered the most ideal way to understand Islam comprehensively. The purpose of this method is to help Muslims develop open-minded thinking, avoid fanatism, and understand Islam in ways that remain relevant to modern society. That is the summary of Islamic studies methodology or methodology study Islam material from meeting 1 until 6. From all of this material, we can conclude the Islam is a complicated, universal, and dynamic religion that can adapt to change over time. Islamic studies also require appropriate methods so that the understanding of religion becomes broader, more moderate, and more relevant to modern life. I hope this video can increase our understanding of Islamic studies methodology or methodology study Islam. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.